Boss, obviously a disappointing afternoon at Easter Road. What was your overall assessment of the match against Motherwell, please?
Well, we're angry at ourselves. We didn't put any performance in at all in the first 45 minutes, got ourselves behind. So we've only ourselves to blame for getting into that situation. When we competed, we gave Motherwell more problems, and we obviously stopped or affected them in their dominance of possession. And that was the way that we intended to play it, but we didn't do it in the first half.
You made two changes at half time. How do you feel that they fared out in the second half?
Well, I mean, it was a marked improvement, and you know, when we've made other changes and the other boys have been the ones that we've moved around, they've been okay. But I think one or two people come off and suffered 4 others round about it, but we had to keep some sort of shape. We had to obviously keep our goal scorers on the pitch. So it was better second half without a doubt, but it had to be.
How frustrating was it from your vantage point in the dugout to see the lack of service perhaps and ammunition provided for June attack? Well,
when they take their share of the blame as well, you know. They didn't contest the good balls and they didn't contest the bad balls forward, but you know, we were a shadow of any side that I would want to think is representing a Hibernian football club. And you know, when you wear the shirt and you cross the line, you've got to want to play, and one or two wanted to be there but didn't want to play.
What do you feel was the key reasoning then behind that off-key showing in the first 45?
Listen, it's simple. If you don't show for the ball, then you make it hard for everyone else to pass. And there was too many didn't exercise going forward and didn't work hard going back. That's the basic facts of it.
Graham Stack obviously produced a handful of top-class saves. How would you sum up his performance?
Good performance, but he plays more or less with good personality and character, and you know, he goes into dangerous situations bravely. And when we did that, we made mistakes. We made probably more mistakes in the second half in terms of possession of the ball, but at least we were a wee bit more in the front foot and affected them, stopped them having the dominance of the ball that they had in the first half.
You mentioned the need for character. To what extent were you surprised because of the spirit shown, particularly against Dundee United and then St Johnstone, that it wasn't evident today?
It happens, you know, it happens. You always bang on about confidence, and I always try to bang you down about it. It goes in a flash, and it went in a flash in the first half.
But then looking then ahead towards St Mirren next weekend, how can we approach this one? It's always a tough task.
We do it in the same way that we approach this one. What we did this week, you wouldn't change. What you saw in the training pitch, you wouldn't change. But you've obviously got to change what happens in the first half. The impression that we made in other games in the first half has been a real desire to go out there and play and work for one another. And we didn't have that. We didn't have enough of that. We're a little bit conservative in use of the ball. But we've all got to take the blame for that.
You talk about the need for forceful personalities and character. How can you as manager extract that in terms of the
squad? We've got to work a wee bit on the tactical side of it. And basically tell them that, you know, what they did in the first half as individuals wasn't good enough. Show them again. And, you know, it's been the fair that everyone else had to sit and watch them. We have to show one or two what they did and why we gave ourselves a lot more problems than we should have.